And before closing this, we'll create another folder on the right side. We'll call plans. So we'll also create some plans so to extend the workflow, not only and also the quantities. Let's not forget to get some reports with quantities, as this is another key feature of what you did and present a great advantage over 2D drafting. So yes, you don't have it in 2D. Okay, it's no problem, just that we'll need to do some extra steps. This is okay, but I also need the bridge. So activate the geometry and also the terrain. So everything we've seen before we need. Sorry, I wasn't clear enough. So we need them on yellow to see the geometry, but also the terrain, as this will also give us the profile of the terrain. Right now, I like the bridge as it was when you first showed me, with everything activated. Let's say everything useful activated. Okay, and usually our drawings, so in order not to mix things, we create the drawings on this side, on this part. We can, for instance, we can go here to insert structure level view. So on the right side, we usually create plans. For instance, we can generate a view. Let's say if we like to create some views of the bridge, I'll send here another file, hit close. We can create some architectural section of this or sections or views. I'll turn this to 0 and go to tools, architecture, and here we have clipping path. So what this clipping path will do will help us generate views or section. It depends on how deep we go. So for instance, we can go like this. So we create a line as if we were going to section this bridge. Hit escape. So this is one section, and now I'm picking the depth, how far I see, and I'll give the name section, or let's say south view. Okay, thank you. And now this is the clipping path, and we can actually isolate what we can see in the clipping path. So if we go in this area, here where it says off, we can activate that clipping path we just created. Well, it will load something. So this is kind of a view, but what is actually relevant in this view is the fact that it's a drawing. Okay, we should have risen it a bit. We can also isolate. Okay, I'll show again rather as a section to be more clear. We didn't specify the height, so with shorten this view. So for instance, we'll do a transversal cross section in this area where we have the cables. To do this, we'll go to Tools, select Clipping Path, and I'll try to be aligned with this pillar. So I'm going to change the angle. Okay, and I'll cut before starting cables and end the cutting behind. So this is the line that will define the cutting line. So this is, we're actually doing now a section. So I create a section there, hit escape, and now I mentioned how far do I see after I cut the bridge from that area. I'll say I'll see it up until here. I'll give 1 here as a number. And to view the result, I can go here and instead of off, select that number. So I see this. And well, I'll need to see how you actually change. These are architectural sections, not engineering. I'm not that familiar with them. Let's see where I can, it's about the maximum height and maximum, the lowest point and the highest point. But I didn't see where I can change this. Animation, switch, tools. Oh, it's here. It's in the settings. Okay, we'll create it again. So I can delete those or deactivate them. Okay, we'll create them again, or we can delete them. If we delete this clipping path, they will be deleted. So we should have looked at the settings for this option. We'll check them now. Tools, clipping path, and we have this 4 options. And here we can say what we'd like, a vertical section or a horizontal from above or from below. We'll say vertical section. And now place clipping line, it's okay. The only thing is here with top level and bottom level. Well, 300 and minus. It doesn't matter, so it won't limit. Display section, object, no. It's okay, and this way we can change the sign of the symbol for the line where we determine the section. Okay, so I'll draw again a line. The line is parallel to the column. I'll hit escape, and now I'll select how deep we can see. Name, I'll say 1. Okay. And we'll also do one perpendicular, will be 2, that one. So I'll go back to Tools, Clipping Path, and I'll import the angle of this bridge, of this line, and I'll cut like this. It needs something. Okay, so we created two sections, and this section can also be viewed in animation. So if you'd like to isolate parts of the bridge for, let's say, better rendering of the pillar with the cables, we can switch here from, instead of off, we can switch to section 1, for instance, and we'll be able to see only that section. And even if we rotate, we'll have an isolated part. So as far as we mentioned the cross section, so maybe this can be more relevant for rendering instead of the whole bridge. So this is something interesting, and also, you know, we can convert to sketch. But now we're interested in obtaining this result, let's say hidden calculation, something like this. So as if we are drafting. I'll leave here to animation and go back to the file management system here. Let's say this will be transversal cross section, or section, and yes, can be longitudinal view. And here I can go and say assign drawing files, and I'll place some drawings. I can start with 5000, let's say, the drawing number 5000, to make sure it's not here. So this area should be only reserved for the 3D elements, 3D object. And well, it won't allow us. Just a second. Why am I hearing myself? I'll close and call again. Okay, now it's better. Yeah, I was hearing myself. So if I try to place drawing 1, for instance, here, it won't allow me. It will say that drawing is in this area, is already associated. So then basically in Allplan we have unique drawings from 1 to 9999. Yeah, in the building structure there can only be placed once, and usually we can reserve 1000 or 2000 drawings in this area for the 3D model. But when it comes to the final drafts and the final execution plans, we do them in this area. So if I say 5000, I can have extra drawings here without ruining the numbering. So this can be a problem if you want consecutive numbers. We need to copy from one drawing to another or something like this. But we have enough drawings to make our moves. Okay, so this is an empty drawing. It has nothing special except the part that is placed here. But because it's placed here on views, I don't know why you have this in Romania. Views, sections. It's strange. I think you have my project, or okay, it doesn't matter, but I'm not sure why is it. This is sections and reports. So now we have views, sections, and reports. We can use here to generate a view. So we can generate a view with the whole bridge. So it's not section, it's view. Let's say, okay, we'll call them another time. But I can go here to generate view, and I can pick up a view of the bridge. So for instance, I can look from the front to create a view. Just a second, we need to select some source drawings. So basically, if we need to create a view, It's just as if we are looking in front or from any side, and it will convert it into a drawing. What I'm doing now is making the same options you did on the right side. So these are the source drawing, and now we can generate a view. For instance, I can generate here a front view, front south elevation, and it will generate a view. It's just as if we are looking from the south to the bridge and do that conversion in 2D. It's something similar. So this is how we create a view of the bridge from the south. But you'll see that because of the fact that your bridge is curved in plane, it's not that relevant. For execution, it's not relevant at all. What will be relevant is to generate a section through the red line. That will be useful. This is usually useful for facades. So if you are drawing a building, it's really useful as you need the facades. But I think this looks like an empty drawing. Just a second. Yes, it's an empty drawing. Why? Okay, now it has content. So this is the drawing, actually. So this is only in 2D. You see, these are lines. There were some settings we had to do, but I didn't do, with the shadows and everything, but this is 2D. So now here you can do whatever, place text, do some dimensioning. I'll show again, we'll do another view here just for you to know how you create this kind of information. This is actually, these are folders similar to Windows. For instance, we can use like this, create here old bridge views. And this will be new bridge views. And we can, let's say, create an infinite hierarchy. So, for instance, if we'd like here to group in other folders, we can do this here. We can say in start structural level, we have views and view. A views type of folder can support any kind of views or a simple view. So, for instance, this can be the parent, this can be another parent, and we can go as much as we need, and inside we insert this with singular view. And inside the view we can insert as many drawings as you need. So if we need a really complex documentation and hierarchy, for instance, if we divide the jobs for structural engineers, for map engineers, for architects, we will need to work in situations like this with proposal 1, proposal 2, and different stages, so everyone knows where to place their plans. So it's not something here. You see, you created your own project, but for me, if I'm going to help you detail this bridge, it's a problem if I don't know where to work on. I need to know in which drawing I'm allowed to create my detailing plan, as the 3D modeling is just one aspect. So it's important because the software supports network sharing, so many people can work in the same time on the same project. So it needs to have a common language, and usually in our clients' offices we do an organization according to their own standards, and everybody knows where to start drawing, so it's not mayhem. Sorry. Okay. Um, so I'll do again. I'll try. Do you also have here the old bridge? Maybe in a drawing. Which drawing? Just tell me the drawing if you know it. First one, okay. So I can also create here, I'll say assign drawings, I'll say 4000 and 4001. So this can also, I'll pick the source will be drawing 1. And I'll create similar, so a front view. And the side view, let's say left, west elevation. Okay, I have to pick up the source, the drawings that I need. I only need this one, and then generate view from, I said, left. Okay, so if you want to see the drawings, we'll go here, double click on it. So this was the old bridge, and also, yes, yes, yes. The engineering sections do change. If you use associative views, as we did in the first part of our training, they change automatically. This kind of drawings are for architectural. So architecture is far more complex than engineering, where we basically place the formwork and the reinforcement. But it's no problem. We can go anytime and click here, update calculation result, and it will regenerate what was automatically generated. So normally if we start detailing over this result, we'll do the detailing in another drawing. Let's say drawing 4003 will have everything we add, so text and dimensions. If we did some changes in the 3D model, we'll just update this calculated result, so the lines will be corrected, and we'll only need to check the details and the text we manually placed. Okay, I'll assign here 2501 and say okay, pick up the source. Okay, I'll pick the last, so it's 13, 15, 16, 26. Okay, which one? Okay, and we'll create something similar, elevation left. I can hear the coolers of your laptop. Okay, and similar is with sections. The sections are the ones we manually calculated, so we manually generated. We mentioned where do we need them. So this is a new bridge, and now in order to be able to place drawings, we need this at singular, so sections. And I'll attach some other drawings. And here things are easy. We just section settings. Anyways, I should have shown you. There are also some settings here. If we need hidden calculation, if we need to see the hidden lines or not, I'll deactivate the hidden lines. And you can also apply textures, so they'll look more nice. You'll see in a second how it changes. So I changed the settings for this drawing, and I'd like to show it how it looks now. Okay, I changed for another, I think. View settings. So I said I would like here to use bitmap textures. Okay. Without transparency, and place shadows and without hidden. Okay. Oh, and I have to update the view. Update calculation result with the new parameters. So let's see, now it will look differently. It has the concrete textures. It won't have any hidden lines, as I didn't want, so we don't see the lines behind. And it will show better. Okay. This is also available for the sections here. So we'll go again here in this area, right click, and source drawing for section. We actually can use a predefined. So what I'll do is this. Deactivate the drawings, activate this, so I don't need any time I need a section to pick these drawings. We can actually save them here. Right click on the building structure and say save current, and I say completed bridge. Okay, and now apart from this, we will we can say load favorite. No, overload favorite would be for the section area. So source, and in the source we'll load that selection. Yes, I think we need to save them once in this area. It's another format. Okay, I'll do it for the last time as I'm going to save. So there are different formats. If I save that in the building structure, it will help me for the building structure, but for these drawings, after I select these elements, I'll say here whole. Okay, and source drawings. Okay, section settings. This is also what we need to see, and I'll deactivate the hidden edges. They don't look that nice, and also select here create bitmaps from textures. Okay. No, the material is actually imported from what we did in animation. If we'd like to change material, we'll have to go in the 3D model and activate some fields for it. So how it will look. Instead of concrete, we can add how to behave, a bitmap or colors. Section settings, generate section. Just a second, I don't know. Activate source drawings. Okay. Don't remember how to select which section I need. Oh, I think the only problem is the section line is not within the source here. The section line, I think I placed it in this red line. That was my active drawing. No, on this one. on drawing 30 is where I placed the actual. Now it should work. You see, now it worked as I placed those lines that indicated the section in the active drawing, which was scope whatever, scope of red line. I'll say here 1. I think I can copy and paste this drawing. Paste under. Okay. Doesn't matter. I'll do the same source. I'll pick the source as I save them, but also have to select that extra drawing. Okay, and here when I say generate section, I'll select the second section. And in the settings, no hidden, and with the bitmaps from textures, and maybe consider light and shadows. We'll see how it looks. Okay, this will be one, and let's look for the other as well, because we're also I'm going to show you how we can make the drafting plans and export them in DWG and PDF. So I'll go here to section. Okay, and have some same settings. And the big advantage of architecture is if you don't like this kind of lines, that there are too many, you can actually delete them. They won't delete the 3D. So you can do things like this and it's no problem. It's not the reality, but and if you update, they will come back, but you can do them as you like. So if you don't like this concrete, you can just delete. It's not, yes, it's not actively related. If you'd like to relate it, you'll regenerate. But the big advantage of architectural sections instead of engineering is the fast processing. So this is way easier to work on than with engineering, because with engineering they are automatically updated and require more resources. There are two different technologies. With associative views in the engineering, they are always related. But the disadvantage is they consume more resources. The engineers have simpler tasks than the architects. For instance, you haven't placed cars yet on the bridge. If we are going to place a car, that car may have more lines than this pillar and these cables. And it might consume many resources if it's left as a 3D real-time actualization. So it's only for you arrange the plans. If something changes, you regenerate, but you have what you added extra, and it will also will do a plan just really fast. Also, I like here another drawing. 5. And here we'll say section along the bridge. This is the most spectacular, and it's a novelty in the latest, this 2015 version. And it's something other you won't find at other software. So you've seen that if we do a side view, it's not that okay. So if I look like this is a side view of the bridge. The bridge can't be constructed using the side view, as it says nothing about the curvature. So in plane, this is not a straight bridge. That was correct only if it were if the bridge was straight. So the normal we would need to create a section through the red line of the bridge. So we'll see that the section is always perpendicular to the bridge. This is why we need first to identify where is the red line. And you said you had the red line which is activated, right? You know where the red line file is, so I can check if it's activated. That 2D red line. Are you still there? Hello? Rita, are you still there? Okay. Okay, I found the red line. We need the red line to be placed inside the bridge. So the section we were going to create is going to be through the line, so it will have 0 depth. What you've seen. Yes, don't worry, it's no big deal. We'll just copy this inside the bridge. What? Yeah, I only need the 2D line. I'm not interested in the elevation. So I actually need it to be 2D. It's not interesting to be, it doesn't work on 3D lines. So I'll just do a copy first and make sure so don't worry about 3D, you can move it in plane. Yeah. Okay, the only thing it's gray and it's hard to see. I'd like you to change the color of it, make it blue or something. Yeah, it can work. Yes, so I actually need to do copy it inside the bridge, because the section, the unfolding of the bridge will be throughout this line you are drawing now, you are copying. So, well, you don't need the left view, you only need to work in plane. So you just have to hold shift, so you are, let me do this, I like to show you how. So you don't need this 3D anymore now. We work for this line, we work in plane. So this is the line, it's already placed, and the function I'm going to use is section along a path, which is placed here in bonus tools in the bridge, section along curve. The thing is, I don't think it identifies this as a line, so I'm afraid I have to do some a trick, let's say. I'll ungroup it, but I need to make sure this is not this is a single element. For instance, it's a polyline. So I ungrouped it. No, I intended to ungroup explode composite element. Okay. Just a second. It's strange. I don't know why I can't ungroup it. Explode. Okay. click composite element, this one. If not, I'm going to do a 2D transformation and convert it into a polyline, but I don't know why it didn't want to explode. Okay, but this is not continuous. That's not right. Oh, it's dotted. Okay, we'll see it now. I'll convert it into a polyline. Combine lines to make polyline, and I'll start with one ending, and hopefully it will automatically connect. This is so strange. I'll try to explode that line again. But I thought we had it in polyline. We did it many times as a single polyline. Oh, just a second, I see here. Convert polyline spline. Okay, I'll know what to do. I'll change the format so it's continuous and then make it a polyline. As the 2D transformation, it transforms what it sees as lines. So this is why it didn't work. Okay, this point we don't need. So combine lines to make polyline. What is the problem? Oh, I needed to hit escape. That's all. And now polyline, I think it's the entire, should be one single polyline. Perfect. Now I'll hit Ctrl X. I'll close this temporary drawing file without saving. I don't need this one anymore. I'll delete and hit Ctrl Alt V or paste in place. Paste to original position to make sure it's still there. Well, it's not really at the original position, but I can arrange for that. So I only need to be aligned with that. And the angle should be 0. Yes. So I'll move one here so it catches some piles, and one lower, because I can do through any line this kind of section. Okay, and now things are quite easy. So we only need a 3D model and a 2D line that is the red line, so it's parallel to the bridge. Next we go to bonus tools, section along a curve, and if the line is correct it should place some arrows on it. Okay, these are the factors for longitudinal and the other. So click on element for clipping path should be this line. And now I just select the direction, doesn't matter what else I select. And it will ask me where should it place the result. So I'll place it somewhere. I'm in a drawing called section along the bridge. So this is the result. I can't see here as the line is not passing those. So it only shows those passing. It's 0 depth. And because of the fact that it's rotating, we won't see them. We can only see them in a view, not in this kind of section. So for instance, if I'm doing another clipping path here, so it only sees what this magenta line is intersecting. Well, the columns are not intersected by this second line. So if this function works as 0 depth, so it's no further than this line. So you see in this area, I'm not intersecting any column. I intersect the column. In this area, I just intersect the deck. So this is so there are two versions. Either we create a view, or we create a section along a curve. So the section along a curve is only through our curve. Here we intersect something, the big pillar. So we can go with as many as we need, but it's 0 depth. It's not further than this, because if it were further, the line wouldn't be parallel because it's already rotating. So this is another philosophy here. This line that yes. This kind of representation is also 2D, but I think it has here update as well. If, well, we have this in engineering without doing the update. So if I'm going to create, let's say, a section here, create a section with now I'm in engineering views and details. I can go in this area and create a section for this two pillars, and without annotation, and place the result here. And now, so this is related to this, let's say, the second line of pillars. And now I'm going to do a change. I can do the change wherever. I can either change here or change in the 3D model. If I yes, we have this add to view. So before creating a view, we create the objects which we need in the view. If you happen to add more objects, you'll just have to add the bridge again in your views. For instance, well, if I copy this one, it will just show me. So for instance, if I go here in this plan view, and copy these two, copy another one between them. Copy this one here. If I go here, I also have now the third one. Yes. Yes, and it's automatically. This is with engineering. So I'm showing the potential of the program. You can use whatever. So either engineering, either architectural. But I'm telling you, if we're also going to add some cars, this kind of associative views may run slower than doing 2D transformation. For instance, if I did do this here in this view, it will also change here in the 3D or in animation. If I go here, I'll see that I have a shorter column. So I can do changes in plane, in the plans, in the draft plans, and it will automatically do the changes also in the 3D model and everything associated with it. So this is with associative views. If you need associative views, it's no problem, just that they might work slower with your computer than the architectural would do. So either way you can work. So we have associative views which are updated instantly. So you don't need to know if things change or where the changes occurred. They just are automatically done. And we talked about this at the start of the training with associative views. So if you can also do like this. For instance, if you want this area, I can say here angle define, click on this area, create section. So as long as I'm using engineering sections, they will automatically be updated. It's no worries. So now we'll see all three, and I selected the area for which I'm interested. Also give some coordinates. Yes, too much coordinates. We can delete some. What? Yes, they are the dimensioning as details. And I'm deleting the automatic ones as there are too many. We usually take some and add them manually, let's say, the others, because the automatic, okay, what? I think I deleted something. So I say delete, but filter only the dimension lines. Okay, you get a clear view. Now, if I want to complete, or I want this for, let's say, 1 to 500, I can rearrange some detailing. I can change it here. What I'm interested is just with general overall dimensions. Hit here. And also I'm going to do some other, let's say, the linear dimensioning. Okay, it might add too many, so I'll leave to general and the columns, for instance. And place the text above the line. Hello? Hello? Okay. Hopefully it restored the connection. And to test if the viewer is still working. I have to reconnect. Just a second. Okay. Okay, if there are too many, we can remove points or remove the line and leave whatever we need. So the automatic is not that good in any situation. So after we create this, we have the options to start deleting some points or add points we need, or manually add some drafting, some annotations. This is Yes, actually it's easier to manually add them and have a more aesthetic segment. Yes, the software marks everything that is changing, and any variation is determined by this automatic dimensioning. We can go over here. Maybe the scale is too big, 1 to 500, but mainly this is how we would do the plans. So after doing this kind of details, we can add the text as well. Let's say pillar. And move it here. Place a leader under it.
have used smaller lines, not that thick for the detailing, can change them later. For the dimension lines and the indicator, you should use a smaller thickness. And then I can, just as if I'm going to do some detailing in AutoCAD, other 2D software, it's no problem after we created the bridge and generated all the sections that we need. We can start doing the details, and as a result we can then place it, we can create layouts of the plans, and you'll get exact scaled plans as if AutoCAD is no problem. If there are any modifications, you can easily do them. You can add points or remove points. Okay, then add the text here. Let's say current bridge section. And I'll change the height to the same, make it is 5. And underneath I'll place the scale. With a smaller size. So this is the actual size we need on the paper every time we place text. So this detail will be 152,500, and then I will do another detail would be 1,2,000. I should let them know, as I'd like to let you know how to establish plans, because the final product is not the 3D bridge. The final product of your design should be the plans, the execution plans, and the quantities, the bill of quantities. So now I'll create a section here. I can create like this through this object. I'll say a free section. Or no, first I'll create a normal section of this. And then you can practice to do some details similar to those you have in the pre-feasibility study. If you know you have that pre-feasibility study with some details, you can do them on your own bridge now, because it's quite easy. You actually will just practice with your okay, let's add some cables as well. So I'm selecting the area in which I'm interested. Select from which side I'm looking at, and select an area like this. This will be sort of a front view only of the pillar. I'll deactivate this automatic notations, and I'll do this the detailing of this one for 1 to 200. And I can also do something more interesting. I can do a section that is done in steps, let's say. Just going to center this. It's changed somehow the resolution after reconnecting. I can do something interesting like this. Not only straight sections, but I can also create some changing course sections. For instance, I can have a view and a section in the same representation. I can go like this, so these are the objects I'm interested in. Section. I select the direction from which I'm looking, and go back here. And first, on the left side, it will be view, so I'm cutting in front of the vertical element up until here. Then I'm going inside this element, And the difference will be the fact that the left side will be with, let's say, with some representation, and the other would be with the hatching. So one is from the front, the other is from within. So you'll see by the representation of the section, you see, this is section 4, which starts here, but then it goes through this area, and it changes course here. This is the sign that shows the fact that it goes 90 degrees to the right. And if I'm going to place the representation here, not only this, I'd like to see also the hatching. The only thing is we haven't placed yet the material. So let's say it's concrete. Concrete, okay. Scale definitions, I don't really see it. You should see the fact that the right side is hatched. Let's see, display surface element, it's okay. Okay, I don't know, it should have shown this one sketched. Maybe it's not defined for concrete to have that section. Okay, now it has that kind of section for drawing for permission to build. So you see what this section has the hatching, what is not doesn't have. The half of the bridge was not section, was from front, and the other was hatched. Furthermore, we can add, let's say, not to be, we can add the texture used for concrete for representation of something that is not a section, so it's seen from front. So you can see this as concrete from the exterior, and the other is like a section, yes. So here we can see the cables, and the other we don't see the cable as they are placed within. Okay, and also for the piles, we can see section, only the piles that are cut wires section, the others are full concrete. Okay, so basically this is how we would do if we would need a detail. Let's say a detail of the cables at a different scale, because this is the most important thing for doing the plans, is to understand how scaling works. I'll create an isometric section. So I select create section and free in the input options. Then I go to this area. And then I will select a low window selection. This is what I need. And then I'll go back in plane. So I select the object is under a certain angle. I can change the angle as I like. And then I have to limit the area of interest. So I'm interested only in this top part where cables start as a detail. And then place it. You see that those are all represented, and I'll go here, and here I can choose what I am interested in the lower part or in the top part. So I can go like this and then type something, so give a title, let's say crown detail. So I can go to label view, crown detail. And this one I'll place to look nice, so let's say to 1 to 200. So if I change the scale 1 to 200, you'll see the text looks bigger. I'll complete with some text describing the scale. Okay, but the title should be greater as well. So this will be 1 to 200, however this one should be 1 to 500. How we solve this? We in local we always draw 1 to 1, but in the final layout we will assemble. We'll do two windows of selection. We'll say we would like this one 1 to 500, and it will look like this from point of view of text and dimensioning, and the other will this one will select to be 1 to 200. So the only aspect is for us before starting detailing to choose the proper scale. And then on the drawing plans, we'll assemble them according to the scales we choose now. Let's try something else. I might show you how to add some cars, and we'll do a small rendering just to have a picture, and then we'll go to the layouts. After the layouts, I'll show you how you can export the bill of quantities to create here some reports as well. And it will be up to you to practice and deliver some really nice plans to Mr. Miller. So the 3D modeling was just for stage hold, and the other stages are these plans, the bill of quantities, and of course I'll talk with Mr. Dan about planning the project management phase. Well, I'll describe the entire workflow for the bridge. What? Any information you'd like. Basically, it measures whatever you want. Either surfaces, areas, number of objects, so it's up to you what you need actually. So for the deck, you can define the concrete, the square cubic meters of concrete. For the piles, you can define the number of piles, or for the let's say for the electric poles, the lighting poles, you're not interested in cubic meters, you're interested in the number, how many you need to order. So for them, yes. What you need to define what all information is, because we basically only have geometry and the information that you give. So it doesn't know from which material the deck is made. You will tell him, and you will tell what you need, volume, area. There's no, let's say, all information, because it's useless, all information. You need the information to be structured. The way you, okay. What I wanted is also, you didn't have time to place any cars, right? Okay, we'll place some small cars here. And another advantage of working on the right side is the fact that you see there's a lot of work for these plans to place the correct annotations and text. It would be really messy if you have 2,000 plans and they are around the bridge. You don't know where the bridge is and where the plans are. So this is why we work separately with this kind of drawing. Okay, now cars. I think I'm going to reconnect as it's, no, it's okay now. I managed to zoom correctly. Close. And now, we'll play some cars. We have really nice cars here in Smart Sim. Yes. Okay, but no, select it the other way around. Without selecting, okay, those colors. Sorry about that. And then ask me what's with that. here in libraries, not in symbols, but in smart symbols. In default, you'll find 30 years on cars. And let's say compact SUV, and you can see this here. So this is how the car will look, and you just have to place it on the bridge. So we don't know yet the coordinates. So if I'm placing new plans, I'll need to move them on the bridge, but I can place some curves now. Why is it a smart symbol? Because you see the geometry is really complex for this one. You can see many details in the 3D. However, in the 2D, the model is really simple. You don't see the whole vertices. For instance, this car, where is placed? Outside, but what is it? It's outside, but it's not at the coordinates of the bridge. That's the problem. I'll sort it now. I'll move it closer to the bridge. See that small red thing in the car. No, it doesn't matter. The scale is only important for the ratio between the text and the actual drawing. Otherwise, it has no importance. If I change here to 10,000, I get the... No. It influences the way the macro looks, indeed. If I change it to 25, okay. But you see, this is the actual vertices, so this is the actual 3D element. Now it's not okay in plane, but we'll move it in plane in a short time. So this is the actual 3D object. You see it has a lot of vertices and points to look so natural. But as a representation, for you as an architect, you're not interested in showing this many lines, but in a simplified... Okay, I'll place it like this so I know it's correct. Okay, so why is it called a smart symbol? It is because of the fact that it has a complex 3D geometry. However, in the plan, so when you're doing the 2D plans, you don't see something that complex. You'll see, where is it? You'll see this simplified symbol for a car. You see, it's very simple as it looks. We can add other cars as well. I'll let you play with this. So we'll just find whatever cars you find interesting here, minivans, and place them along the bridge. Because if we don't place the cars, we wouldn't realize how big this bridge is. It looks kind of small until you place human beings, and there are also some people around here, default people. But there shouldn't be people on the bridge, but they are really simplified, that's why they look so strange. So they won't consume many resources. Okay, so I just wanted to show where you find some really nice object in the 3D Smart, you just explore and think what can be relevant for your bridge. Also going to move them up. And we can copy these objects let's say where we are going to do the rendering in this main part. And check in plane how they look if they're still on the bridge. They're so small, I can't find them, but I'll look in animation. No, I'll look in animation, that is no problem. They're outside. Okay, yes, they were outside. I'll move them. Okay. So we'll try something combined now. What I've shown you will do a fast rendering, and I'll go to the plans. This is only for training. You'll do something nice with this, what I'm showing you now. But just showing you some tools and how you can use them for your final presentation. I'll go back to this architecture and I'll select the clipping path. Let me include that human as well. Okay. So this is just a line that should, I don't know, it doesn't matter if it's parallel or not. This is how much we are able to see and how maybe take. Why I did this is for us to have a more limited area for animation. So if I go now to animation window, I can go here to extend this a bit. This is a smaller segment. The car is not properly placed. It should be moved a bit to be on the street and not further. And you can, in order to do fast animation, will a fast rendering. Okay, you would need to move those people a bit. I can also activate here only that view. Okay, and I'll go in this window. Okay, and choose some area, and then just go here to right click, surroundings. I have a colleague that will help you with find the rendering. So after you place all the 3D objects and the textures, it will help you do the settings so you get photorealistic rendering. I'm just playing an engineer and not specialized in rendering. I'm not required to renderings in my line of work. And just playing here, Montreal, maybe it's here, Montreal. You can actually place the real, so the date for which you're doing the rendering, and it will position the sun as active for your city. It can also give you virtual ground plane to provide shadows. This virtual ground, okay, it says here physical sky, it's okay. You can change the texture, you can apply a texture for the ground. Not stone, I was thinking of something glass, grass. Okay, and we can go here and say change the position of the sun. Okay, and here we'll say render, medium for this resolution, and say render. If you have time, you can choose higher levels and other aspects, but just showing you the basics until you set up all the 3D objects that you need on the bridge and the textures you like, and then my colleague from architecture will help you do a realistic one. It can also provide you with HDR representations, so pictures of real sky with clouds and everything surrounding the bridge. But he has this database of HDR images and it will look photorealistic, so very close to reality. Now we're just showing that you know the basics of it, and after we finish this, we'll save the picture because this is still part of the training. After we create this picture, we would like to do a plan or two plans, and it will also be on the plan, and that plan will export in DWG and PDF. You see that all your processes are working now. So it's full of 8 processors. This is the first step with pre-cache, and then it will do the actual rendering. But you'll see you'll get really nice results, and there are some tutorials, but in your case, probably will help you do the settings and have a more realistic, but this is the basic workflow, and you can apply for your houses or whatever else if you do also civil engineering buildings. Okay, I'll create a smaller image so it will take less time. I'll render, and I'll change the resolution to small.
faster. This is another aspect that basically this is Cinema Render, which is the cinema engine, the Cinema 4 engine. So now it's integrated with all plans, so you don't need to export the model in a rendering software. You have everything in the same software. Yes, my colleague will show you how you can do that. Because he created the terrain and he'll map different areas, it will give texture for water. He has a big database as he's an architect like you, so he has some big database with very many realistic materials, so he'll also map areas with the water. He'll do something nice. So basically you have to do some areas which have water texture. I think things are getting hot there. Okay, so we'll take a 5-minute break and then I'll be back. So when it finishes this, okay? We'll talk to it. For the report, but for the plans. But we can do also this if we have no time. We'll go like this. Oh, where is it? Ah, it's still working. Okay, and we'll just pick up a stage a bit. We're not interested in the final stage. We can decrease the size a bit and it will be really fast. Okay, and we can save this as a picture export or even print screen it. Okay, and go here to paint. So if we don't have but I just wanted a picture somehow. Control V. I hit print screen on the keyboard, and in Paint we'll just isolate what we're interested in. I can do that if I finish the render. If it's still working, I can do that. So I just did a print screen of what is calculating now. If I let it stop, I would just right click and say save picture. Okay, I copied the image and I'll leave it to animation here so it won't work hardly. And now, going to plans, we have this layout. So similar to AutoCAD, where you have the model space and the layout space. You know AutoCAD, right? Okay, so this is the model space in our plan. To get to the layout, we have this called Layout Editor. And here we'll have something similar to an organization of the drawing. So all layouts is not that relevant. We'll create like this. We'll create a new structure level similar to the building. I'll say Champlain Bridge. Let's say Old Champlain Bridge. And here we can add some other levels. We'll say engineering, plans, and others can be architectural plans. And we can add also here new Champlain Bridge. And I'll add architecture plans. And now, it's similar to the building structure. We have to add, instead of drawings, there are called layouts here. Let's say first 10 layouts will go here, the other 10 layouts will go here. Okay, no structural, but drawings. So we can divide the work as far as we need. And now the smallest element is layout. We'll go here as well, and we start here with 100. 100, okay, 100 to 110. Okay, and we can make them, say, first plan. So this is like a drawing file, only that this is a plan. It's not, okay. And we'll set up a page. Let's select a bigger page, format A0, horizontal, and without margins. We can select a border for it, according to a certain standard. And the thickness of the layouts. We can then add our own title block, or we can add a title, predefined title block. And further, we can add a background if we like, gradient, or instead of white, or we just leave it without anything better. And now, the most important part is here. If we need to bring drawings, we'll have to use this function called layout element, and we'll pick out drawings. We'll go with this button, and this is the file set structure, this is the building structure on the left side, and this is the right side of the building structure. So we'll go to the right side and pick this, for instance, this drawing. We'll bring it to 1 to 200, we have the scale on the screen here. And then we can do copies of it and do some drawing. So this is 1 to 200. I'm going to copy this layout element here. So this is something similar to viewports in AutoCAD. And here I'll make 200 the scale. So I have once the drawing C for 100 to 1 to 200 scale, and then I have it 1 to 500. I want this detail to be 1 to 200, so I select this one and pick it up like this with the layout window. So I select the other elements, and this will be 1 to 200. The others I'll do another copy for here, will be 1 to 500. I'm going back to layout window, and I'll create a layout with this one. And one with this. And then I assembled them on the drawing. So I'll move them closer and place them on the final plan. And in this layout we can add any 2D elements we need, comments, extra description, and other aspects, materials used. So you see here we have different scales, but you'll see that the text will always have the same dimension if we use like this. For instance, the titles have the same dimension, even though this drawing is 1 to 200 and the other is 1 to 500. This is because of the fact that when we place the drawings, we selected in the drawing mode the correct scale. So now there's no problem when assembling on this layout. Actually, we can fit with a smaller piece of paper. We'll go here and change it to A2, A1. You see that everything changed accordingly. The title block and border. So these are our elements. We can add any 2D information here. This is not printable, this part. We can preview what is printable, so print view. That is only to know if we fold this into an A4 format, what we're going to see. So those lines were showing us what we will see after we fold this plan into A4. So this is A4 dimension, and these small lines indicate the folding lines. So if we want to manually fold these plans, we'll use these lines to. Here it's oblique, as you know. For the corner you have to make it curve it a bit. Okay, we'll go back to the print view. If we missed text, it's no problem. We can add them now. We can say elevation. The other to be section. And then we can add different notes. We can create rectangles. And use any tool from the basic. We can add only for the drawing. We can write here important notes. And inside the box we can add material. Where is this bridge placed? With a smaller size font. And whatever you see on those examples you have for the plans. So you see how fast we already created some plans. Also, we have this in the clipboard. If you render, you can save them as a picture or as I did. And to export this after you complete with other notes, you just go back here to the, let's say this area layout, and say export PDF data. Okay. And export it somewhere, first plan.
Whatever. Okay, I should have checked to open automatically, but it's no problem. So here is the plan. Something not right. I'll export it again. So export PDF data. Okay, and I'll open file with associated application. Okay, about printing, whatever. I don't like what is happening. You have the PDF from Adobe Right Reader. That should work. Okay. Yes. Yeah. I don't know why. It's just without the picture, but it doesn't matter. As our clients, our architect clients always export with pictures. Very strange. Let's try to. You have a 3D printer. Let's see. No, you don't. Let's try with this preview tool. Yes, I need to show that. I don't know why it doesn't work for this drawing. It's strange. We'll try with DWG. And also one suggestion would be to try to install the Adobe PDF. Maybe it has a problem. I haven't seen this problem before. Because the plan is not that big, that's strange about it. You have AutoCAD installed. Not even a DWG viewer. Yes, DWG viewer. So something.
it added some texture. You need to... Yes, but if you don't have any viewer, no. I'm sending you to buy AutoCAD. Okay. Sorry about this mess on your desktop. DWG can't embed pictures, so I think it added a lot of pictures here. Okay, this one was okay. Oh no, actually these were not. Sorry. Needed this. I thought they were from the DWG file. Anyway, if you have viewer or AutoCAD, you can view the DWG. One last thing I meant to show you was the reports. You already know how to create reports. I've shown you in the first lessons. You just need to make sure that you have the materials applied. For instance, I'm not sure this column with files, if they have the material applied. They say cooperative. Yes, they have. So we'll try with a general list. As you said, we'll go here to reports. And it's similar to those. Okay, we'll say report, say bill of material. And report, and here we'll create the same philosophy source as for the cross sections. We'll upload, select this. Just a second. Now we'll select the predefined version here for bridge. Okay. And now we'll just select the type of report that we need, select report and settings. And the report will be, let's say, a general report. Should consist of unfinished structure, and there was one with general quantities overview, and I'll say OK. And activate, let's say, output report. This can be one report for the concrete. I see that only those elements I think they have. Okay, this is one report. You can export in Excel, PDF or Word. And we'll try with another report, let's say general report. I think the bridge has nothing defined. As a material, we'll have to define something. And also the poles, I think we can find the poles here, let's say objects. As to know the number of poles of electricity poles we placed on the bridge, source drawing should be the same source. Okay, and another report will be with objects. And just general. Here are all elements, quantities for them, and there should be some by numbers. The poles, we said we are interested in the numbers of them. So not only cubic meter, oh, it's 60-page report. It's quite big. Smart symbol. It's numbers to see street lamps. And you should have a subtotal of it. So we'll know how many street lamps we have. We should explore different types of reports. Let's select another type. With the grouped one, I think it's better. Yes, this is better. We have 1,256 pieces of street lamp, and the others are columns, how many cubic meters. These are the cables, 11,000 meters of cables, and these are other elements. I think it's the deck. And one other interesting would be a report which has some pictures from the concrete. Let's select report, but first I'll assign the same source. Okay, and generate the report. It's in the trades. You can rename the reports as you like and just explore after make sure that they have something assigned as material. And then export them into Excel or PDF. If you export them in Excel, you can attach prices or everything change, round off quantities, whatever. I think this is too huge, the report is too big, this one. I'll select the second one. Or no, it was okay, but it had pictures. You do the output and you'll see what it shows. Concrete report. Okay, I think there's not plenty of new information now, and what I would like from you is to do some nice plans, try to inspire from your pre-feasibility study and do some nice plans, and then do some reports and export them in PDF and Excel, and we'll meet and see what problems you face. But it's important to show Mr. Blan also the plans and this organization, the fact that the 3D model is only the first stage of our design. There's also the execution plans and the cost-related reports. Okay, it's no problem. It's no problem. So when will we meet again?